Hey guys, it's 681 Shadow. Welcome to my Kiznaiver episode 9 review. Now, before I start, just a few things. First of all, the air conditioning is a bit loud here as it's this time of the year being hot and all. I had to have the AC on, so I apologize for that background noise. Hopefully, I can talk over it. And also, the layout's a bit different because I made it on a different computer, and I forgot that instead of um, black text on a white background, I made it white text on black background, which kind of makes sense because the episode was pretty dark. I'll get into that in just a bit. But lastly, if you have not seen this episode of Kiznaiver, be sure to pause this video, go down the description to the Kiss anime page for Kiznaiver, and watch the full episode there. This is an episode that you definitely cannot miss. This is a big episode. Like I said, last week's episode was big. This one's even bigger. So let's get to the review. So this episode was really. It was like a dark episode for some reason. Why is it that the last two animes I've had episode nines, both the episode nines have been dark episodes. As you'll see when I post it in 2 days, No Game No Life review episode 9, and that anime was dark, and then this anime episode 9 was dark. It's just a thing with episode 9 for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, this episode they started to delve into thoughts. So it's another phase of the Kizuna experiment. So basically now they're able to hear each other's thoughts. So yeah, you thought you had some privacy from the Kiznaivers, not anymore. You can hear what all of them are thinking when they think something. Like for example, as you see, just to preface it, as you see in this shot, Katsuhiro was remembering everything from his past because before Sonozaki started reminding him of his past, all of his memories were hazy. But once she started reminding him of people who were experimented on, as well as them too, because as you saw at the end of the last episode with Sonozaki's Kizna bond on her neck, Katsuhiro is bonded with her. His bond is on his chest. So Chidori sees him hugging her, and then obviously typical Chidori runs out, and then typical Tango's go after her. So what is it? Oh yeah. So then you hear her. So Katsuhiro stops her, and you hear Chidori's thoughts saying for him to hold her like he held Sonozaki, and then he does that, and then this is why I did not like Chidori in this episode. I did not like Chidori in this episode, and then also there's Tanka. They're good characters, but they just weren't themselves this episode. It didn't feel right because then Chidori he held Chidori, and Chidori was like, "Why are you holding me? You're so cruel." So it's like, you just said to hold him not even 2 seconds ago, and now I call him cruel for holding you. Okay, Chidori, I'm not gonna mess with that logic, not at all. But and then afterwards, on the contrary, not on the contrary, I don't know, saying that. So then they all went out after them. So then Tanga comes. Tanga comes in and he's just like, he's all like, because then his feelings are getting expressed for Chidori because of the thoughts. He's thinking like, why does Chidori like Katsuhiro more than me? And so what if I like Chidori? So he was beating up Katsuhiro, which was uncalled for. That's why I did not like Tanga this episode. He was just beating the crap out of Katsuhiro, which was completely uncalled for. Just for holding Chidori, because what Chidori said, it's complicated. It's very complicated. And then an interesting part, probably the most interesting part in the episode, before I get into the really dark thing that happened. The really interesting part was Yamada Sensei. He was like, these are great results, but then the school counselor Yurishi, I believe is how you pronounce it, she was like, I'm gonna put an end to this because if we let this go on, these kids will break, and that's what leads to the dark thing. But she's starting to walk out, and then Yamada stops her, and he's like, if we can get these results here, we can make more progress on the experiment. Is that what Nori-chan wants? Nori being Sonozaki once again. So then, of course, typical anime. Yamada leaves his balls open, and Sonozaki that's Sonozaki. Where's the Sonozaki? She's not even there. Yurishi just kicks him straight in the balls and then walks out. But of course, Yurushi's a bit too. She's a bit too. They didn't break completely, but it seemed like they were breaking because they were having all these bad thoughts, saying we can't be friends anymore. and all that kind of stuff. And then they were all that whole scene ended with them all on the ground, like mid typhoon. Like the typhoon is still happening. They're just on the ground, all saying it hurts. They're all just saying it hurts. Well, except for Kazuhira because he doesn't feel it. And it was really dark, but yeah, that was really something horrifying to watch. It's probably the darkest anime scene I've seen. Because once again, I am a bit of a newcomer to anime. Kiznaiver is probably like my I have to count, but maybe like fifth or sixth anime, possibly seventh that I've seen. Around there. So not really too much of an anime expert, but hopefully before that will be expanded upon. I'll probably see darker things than this, but that was pretty darkening to see. And this episode was great for backstory on Kazuhira and Sonozaki. How Sonozaki started like talking about some of the kids, like for example, once again another person in an anime named Yuki. I think one day I'm just gonna make a video saying how ridiculously popular the name Yuki is in animes. Like I haven't seen that many animes, and I've seen the name Yuki come up multiple times. It's just it's crazy. I'll definitely have to make that video at some point in my life. But this episode was really story heavy. It was a dark episode. It had me reeled in, definitely. I'm waiting to see how they're gonna go for it because it's really climactic now. Like episode one, beginning episode, then they started slightly building on everything, and then now it's just episode 8. It's been climactic. So I wonder if they're going to keep it climactic until episode 12, which is when they'll end Kiznaiver most likely, or are they going to tone it down a bit for maybe episode 10, episode 11, and then make the actual climax for episode 12, or they're just going to keep it like that. I don't know what they're going to do, but anyways, I hope it's going to be good. But anyways, that's going to be it for this. Remember to check out the Kiss Anime Kiznaiver page to see all the episodes. Be sure to check out Kazuto27. I'm not sure if he'll be on any of the Kiznaiver reviews with us anymore because he has been short on time due to other things like school and such. And remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I apologize for this being late once again, as for me not having much time to do this. And I will see you all on. Hopefully the next one will be on time and well.